At the beginning of this year, I said that I was still very much optimistic and still very bullish on the cryptocurrency market as far as Bitcoin is concerned and as far as the top 10 cryptocurrencies are concerned. People called me crazy. People asked me questions like, how are you so sure? And guys, here we are in March of 2022. After all the pain that we have gone through in the cryptocurrency market and in the stock market, a lot of people were fearing the rate increase by the Federal Reserve. And by now, in March of 2022, the Federal Reserve, which is the central bank of the United States, has clearly laid out their entire plan of how they're going to be raising the interest rates in 2022. But now that that clear picture is out there and everybody knows what's going to happen and we know what the program is and how they're going to be doing it, we're seeing a recovery in these assets, in cryptos, in stocks. Why is that? Here's what I think that what's the reason behind that. I think that the fear behind the rate increase has already been factored into the market. And that's why we're seeing these assets recover. And I think that even by the time the Fed will be raising the rates, I don't think that we will see the weakness that we saw in late last year into early of this year. So guys, for all of you that called me names at the time, this is not a salty video about you guys. I just hope that you guys got schooled, that's all. And that you guys can come back to reason, because I understand that when you're losing money, emotions does get the best of you. I'm guilty of it myself. Been there, done that. So now, what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about Bitcoin and where I'm seeing Bitcoin going. And we'll also touch base on Ethereum a little bit. Because it's been a little minute since we spoke about crypto in here, as I started talking a little bit about stocks lately, talking about gold, silver, and uranium. And by the way, if you're interested in those assets, because I do invest in those assets too, go check out my videos on those too. So now, first thing that we'll do is we will look at CoinMarketCap. And guys, on CoinMarketCap, as you can see, Bitcoin is coming up at number 1, of course, and is coming up at about 8%, 8.64% in the past 7 days or the week. And Ethereum coming up at about 11.43% in the past week. And then we're seeing Cardano all the way down at number 7, coming up at about 29.29% in the past week. Solana coming up at about 15% in the past week. And the last one is Dogecoin coming up at about 18.76% in the past week. So guys, we're seeing these assets increase. We're seeing these assets recover. And so now the question is this just a short-term recovery or are we going to be going higher? So guys, first thing that we'll do is we'll take a look at the Bitcoin chart. And now that we are on the Bitcoin chart, guys, I want you to see here some of the stuff that I had traced last year. We had this white trend line going from the Bitcoin all-time high that was reached back in November of 2021 at about $68,000 and going all the way down. We see that ever since we've been going down, we can see here that basically the price was kind of hovering close to that resistance and then go down, hovering close to that resistance and then go down. And then finally, we broke that resistance right in early February. And so since early February, when we broke that resistance, we can see literally right in this region, what's been happening is we went above, this resistance line that dates to all the way back to early 2021. And we can see that the price has been very sideways within this region. But something else that is really important to see here, guys, is we're seeing in blue, which is my 50-day moving average, we're seeing that the slope of the 50-day moving average line is changing here. We're seeing that it's changing course and it is pretty much directing itself on an upward direction. So this right here shows me that we're getting bullish because it's changing course, and has the 50-day moving average crosses above the white line, which is the 200-day moving average, that will be a golden cross, which would mean that we are getting back on an uptrend. An uptrend is 50-day moving average above, 200-day moving average below. So guys, this right here is already showing us the direction in which we might be going. And so what am I saying here? I am not saying that in 2022, Bitcoin is going to go to $100,000 and we're all going to be rich and stuff. All I'm saying is, even if Bitcoin doesn't actually get to that price, I believe that we're still going to inch higher. I believe that we may still reach levels such as $75,000 or $80,000 in 2022. And if that doesn't happen, that could happen even in 2023. The reality of the matter is I am not in this market for a short-term gain. I'm in this market for the long term. I'm in this market looking to make money in the future. And the whole reason behind that is because I am trying to create a fortune. I am trying to create wealth. And when you look at a lot of people, when you look at most people that have made wealth, those people did not make wealth in the short term. Yes, they may have made a big win in the short term, but most of their wealth were amassed over a lifetime. And so you have to be able to be patient enough to wait a lifetime to be able to amass big amount of wealth. And that is what I'm doing here. And that is why I am still very much bullish on these assets. As of now, I am invested in assets such as Bitcoin, which is I'm not that heavily invested in Bitcoin, slightly. But the reason why I like to talk about Bitcoin is because Bitcoin is usually the leading indicator of the cryptocurrency market. And I hate to say that and I hate to see that because I would love for these other crypto to kind of decouple themselves from Bitcoin and to kind of be able to move in their own directions however they want, whenever they feel like it. But unfortunately, they are all still very much coupled to Bitcoin. So if you want to understand and have a metrics of where the market might be going, then we use Bitcoin as that metrics. And it's kind of the same thing like in the stock market where the S&P 500, for example, in the US stock market, I would say, where the S&P 500 is used as the leading indicator of the market or lagging indicator, however you want to see it. Right? Because the S&P 500 contains a basket of 500 of the biggest US corporations that are listed on the US stock exchange. So the performance of that index kind of give us an idea of where the market might be going. And it's the same idea here that I'm using with Bitcoin. So guys, so far we just talked about Bitcoin and where the price of Bitcoin is going. So as I'm going back to the Bitcoin chart again, one last thing that I will have to show you guys is, guys, when you look down here, we can see that RSI is getting a little overbought, but we're still good. So what we need to see here is we need to see the price of Bitcoin to go above this 200-day moving average right here. And then once the price goes above this 200-day moving average, the next major resistance would be at this red line right here at about $50,000. And once we cross above that, we're going to be going higher and reaching higher levels again. So guys, now that we're done with Bitcoin, one of the things, actually, I'm not done. I wanted to show something that is on Glassnode. So guys, this is a chart coming from Glassnode. It was actually posted by Nigentropic on Twitter. I want to give credits. This is not my work. This is somebody else's work. This is the person that posted it. But anyway, I want to use this chart to kind of show you metrics as far as why I'm expecting what I'm expecting to happen in the market because of what we're seeing on the chart here. So guys, what we're seeing on the chart here is these gray lines represent the price of Bitcoin. And then guys, these black bars represent the Bitcoin spot volume, the actual volume of Bitcoin on cryptocurrencies exchanges such as Coinbase, Binance and stuff like that. And then in blue, those are BTC futures volume on the futures market. So what Nigentropic was saying here is, looks like the move to 44K was led by the spot demand. Every sustained BTC bullish move is led by the spot market. So basically what he's trying to say here is that the rise to 44,000 that we're seeing right now is being led by the spot demand, this volume in the spot. Actually, people buying real Bitcoin on real platforms such as Coinbase, Binance, and stuff like that, and not the Bitcoin futures where people are buying contracts that give them basically the right to buying a certain amount of Bitcoin or owning a certain amount of Bitcoin, but do not actually own the actual Bitcoin. And this right here is really important because this is showing that people's money is going back into the market. People are rebuying this asset again. Right. And that is what is fueling this, what we're seeing right now. Because a lot of the times when you see, the high volumes in the future market, usually those might be huge institutions. Those might be the hedge funds that are just doing some short-term trade and stuff like that. And of course, you also have hedge funds that would actually go into the spot market and buy from there. But this shows that a lot of the institutional and retail investors are going into the spot market and they are buying straight from these exchanges. And that right there is bullish for a sustained price actions to the upward. So now, last thing is we will go and check out Ethereum. Guys, so here there is a news that says the merge will be a bullish development. The merge here is basically what would be happening with Ethereum as far as once Ethereum is able to kind of switch to a staking mechanism going toward Ethereum 2.0, which will basically take Ethereum from a proof of work protocol, which is very similar to what Bitcoin is, a proof of work protocol, and basically uses computing power to be able to solve complex mathematical problems. But in this case, going to a proof of stake protocol where we won't need to use that type of computing power, and it will decrease the power drawage of Ethereum onto the power grid by 99.95%. And that right there will also basically help out with some of the environmental issues around Ethereum as well because of its proof of work protocol. But the staking mechanism will allow people to be able to basically earn interest on their staked ETH. And some people, and this article the headline of the article that I was just showing you guys is basically saying that transition may become as bullish as the Bitcoin halving. So guys, we will also look at the chart, just briefly at the chart of Ethereum. And here we are, Ethereum is trading at about $3,181. And as we can see, the chart of Ethereum is also very much similar to the one of Bitcoin. So guys, if you have questions, please drop them in the comment section below. I will be more than happy, or my brother will be more than happy to basically assist you and respond to any questions that you may have. Now, if you would like to start, to get some more information out of us, if you would like to see the type of asset that we're buying, we have a Patreon, which I will actually show you guys the Patreon on here. So let me just go to Patreon. And as you guys can see here, this is our Patreon where we have multiple tiers. We have a $5 tier, a $9 tier, and a $20 tier. And based on the tier, it will basically give you access to different things. But with this Patreon, what you can do is basically you can be able to send us a question where either my brother or I will do a personalized video response, and we'll respond to you and respond to your question, which will also make it available to any of the other Patreons that are available on there to be able to also see basically our response to your question. And also, if you would like to start investing into the stock market, the cryptocurrency market, and you don't have an account with Weibo or M1 Finance, and you don't also have an account with Coinbase or BlockFi, you can use our links in the description below to sign up. And when you sign up using our links, we will both get some monetary value. And as well, if you would like to get your first credit card and you don't have a credit card, you can start by basically signing up for a credit card using our Discover credit card links in the description below. And when you sign up and using our links, we will both get some monetary value as well. I hope that I provided you with some value today. And if that was the case, please go ahead and hit the damn like button. Thanks, and I'll see y'all in my next video on Sunday. Bye bye.